my new series that I'm starting today, and this is just the first. And I had lots of ideas for this, but I'm just going to go over 5 ideas. But I'm going to be 55 in October. It's coming. And it just makes me think, wow, the time is really going by fast. But I have learned a few things in my time on this earth. And so without further ado, let's just get to it. And I'll talk to you about a few of the things that I've learned up to this age. It really puts things into perspective. I've watched a lot of other YouTubers who have done videos like this, what I've learned up to age 40 or 50 or 55 or 60 or beyond that. So this video could be for anyone around my age, or it could just be good advice for, you know, what I would tell my younger self, or, you know, someone who's younger than me. And maybe that could save you, you know, some hardships, or just give you some insight on smart things to do and like what really matters in life. Because you may not know things. You may think you know everything when you're in your 20s and 30s or your early 40s. But as you age and go through different experiences throughout your life, you might learn that you don't know as much as you thought you knew. So if I could talk to my younger self, I guess this video is for that person. So let's just get started and let's get to it, and I'll just go over a few things with you. Oh, by the way, I am driving. I'll be driving for about 45 minutes. I'm just going to an appointment. So I'm going to be driving for about 40 minutes into St. Louis City, and it's kind of in West County, so just a short drive. And there might be some thunderstorms. We had clear skies in this morning, and then it started storming a little bit and raining, so we might run into some storms again. We'll see. So I'm really trying to pay attention in the car because there's a little bit of rain and I'm on the interstate, so I try to be real careful when I'm driving. Just keep focused on the road. Sometimes other people aren't paying attention, so you gotta like watch out for other drivers. If I could talk to my younger self, I would say that the first one is it's okay if you don't get everything done. Like, I'm a big list person. When it's the weekend, I always have like a list of things I want to try to do before the end of the weekend. And I used to stress about it. Like, I'm the kind of person who I'll get something done and I check off my list and then I refer back to it. And sometimes I would be a little bit of a procrastinator and not get the things done that were the highest on the list. So I try to do the thing that I least want to do first and get that out of the way, and then like save the fun stuff for the end of the list. But I've learned through the years that you really shouldn't stress over that, and you know, just do what you can, and it's not going to be the end of the world if it doesn't get done. I guess the biggest thing is set your priorities for like what is the most important, and usually that might be the thing that you least want to do. But if you get those hard things done, then it's a lot less stress on you. You don't worry as much. You're not always thinking, oh, I got to get that done. I'm dreading it. You know, just do that first, because it will make your life easier and it'll give you a sense of accomplishment. But the little things, if they don't get done, like if the laundry doesn't get done or the floor doesn't get mopped, it's not the end of the world. I mean, seriously. And if you have some wrinkled clothes in the dryer, you know, you can always get to it later. The big things are like, don't leave your clothes in the washing machine, because if you do, they're going to sour. It's going to make the washing machine smell, and your clothes are going to smell, and it's just going to be a mess, and you have to redo it all. So prioritize, you know, getting the clothes dry, and then later on you can iron it. Or one thing I've learned is you can put ice cubes in the dryer and just let it go for 5 or 10 minutes, and it'll take the wrinkles out of your clothes. So it's not the end of the world. Don't stress over it. You know, if you have company coming over to the house, then if you're worried about the house being clean, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And most people, they're not coming over to your house to inspect it and see how clean you keep your house. most people just want to spend time with you, and they want to talk and have fun, and just have a good time with you. They're not over there to like judge you for like how clean you keep your house. And so yeah, that's another thing. Just don't sweat the small stuff. Just try to live in the moment and do what you can. Take care of the important things first, and then just let the other stuff go until later. When you can get to it, you can get to it. So that's number one. Don't always think you have to get everything done, because you probably won't. So when you're making your list of things to do, just like maybe put a star by the things that are real important, that you kind of have to get done just to function in society, or so you're not making your life harder later on. Don't procrastinate the big stuff. The next thing I've learned as I get older, approaching 55, I've learned that my body has definitely slowed down a little bit. When I was younger, I used to do all kinds of things. I worked a full-time job, and I would take the kids on the weekend to like the zoo or to the planetarium, or just like we do all kinds of things. We go to the pool. We do like a bazillion things. And I wasn't even a huge list person back then, but I just had this energy that kept going and going. Like I would do projects around the house. I'd paint a room in one day, and like it was no big deal. Like my body wasn't hurting afterwards. But now that I'm older, I've found that I'm pretty sore after I do something physical, like painting a room or, doing a lot of yard work. I can definitely feel it the next day. And so I just appreciate your energy as you're young, and try to take care of your body so you don't get injured, and, stay active, because if you don't take care of yourself, you start gaining weight, or, once you get older, it's a lot harder to recover from that. And you'll have more stress and strain on your joints if you overdo it. So, like, if you can kind of prevent injuries and just take care of yourself, then it's going to make it easier as you get older. I might be rambling on, but the big thing I would tell my younger self is when you're young, you can do a lot. And it's okay to do that, but protect yourself so when you're older, you don't have problems with your body, like with your hands or your joints. And also, like if you're real active, like I used to be a runner, make sure you take care of your feet and take preventative measures so you're not too hard on your body, because like you will feel that later on in life. I hear from so many people, like with the type of work I do, I talk to a lot of people, and people say, oh, I have this back problem, or this knee or problem because I used to play sports and I was really hard on my body. And it's okay to do that kind of stuff when you're young. Like you're going to play sports, you want to live your life to the fullest, but also do everything you can to protect yourself. Like wearing mouth guards if you play sports. So I think nowadays it's required to do that. But just like anything you can do that's gonna protect your body, just try to do that, and try to start good habits when you're young. Even like with your dental care, and just with your nutritional status. Try to eat healthy foods. Just try to do things that are gonna make it easier, because when you get older you will slow down, and part of that could be hormonal, also because when you get older you can't lose weight as easily. Try to really monitor your weight and don't let yourself go. It's easy when you're young to eat something that's not really healthy or overeat, and your body burns off that fat pretty and the calories pretty quickly. But as you get older, you don't lose that as easily. So just start the habits when you're young, because that'll just make it easier to keep doing those things when you get a certain age. Fruits and vegetables, Don't let yourself go and, binge on sweets, or also with alcohol. Don't let yourself consume too much alcohol. I mean, when you're younger, you can probably recover faster, but you're also starting a habit that could affect you long term. Like it might be something you rely on, socially. If you're a social drinker, you might feel like you have to have that in order to interact with other people or just feel like more secure. Try to like do things that make you feel confident in yourself and like to really know yourself, so you don't have to be like that, so you don't have to rely on something that could be toxic to you. So anyway, that's kind of, I really went on a tangent with that one, but yes, as you get older, you slow down, and basically your body, it slows down as far as recovering from things. So it's real important to make good decisions and protect yourself as you head on into later adulthood, middle age, and into those later years in the second half of life. So, one of the third thing that I've learned as I've gotten older is things don't matter. Physical things that you buy at the store, accumulation of, things that you collect, or clothes, or cars, or, just things that you might be getting to impress other people, or just like things that you enjoy. Like, physical things aren't as important as you get older. And you realize the most important thing is experiences, like alone or with other people. Going on adventures, traveling, spending money on flights, or traveling in hotels, or just like doing something fun with your family. Let's see, let's just say that you wanted to go to the lake, and spend time with your family at a lake or alone. Those kind of experiences, they really enrich your life, and they make your life more meaningful and really worth more, because those, we only have a certain number of days on this planet, and you realize that if you have a chance to go do something fun or something you'll learn and you'll remember that forever, that's going to be so much better for you than just like going to the store and buying a new outfit, or something new to decorate your house. A lot of times things are just trendy, and so you buy things like because it's in style, or you want to refresh your home or your wardrobe, and so you can learn that experiences really matter so much more. Like if you can spend time with your family, or do activities with your family, or doing something that's meaningful to your life, that's so much better than just like having physical things. Because then, like, towards the end of your life, so many people say this. I've learned this a lot on YouTube. I watch a lot of people who are 50 and older, and they will say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have wasted so much money on just things that I've accumulated, because then as you get older, you might want to downsize, or, when you pass away, your family is going to have to deal with all that crap. And what's valuable to you may not be valuable to them. To them, they got to figure out what to do with it when you're no longer around. They'll either have to give it away, or, just sort through all the memories, pictures and cards and all kinds of crap that you've accumulated. And it may not be that important to them, even though it is important to you. Or if like you have a big set of china, maybe get an idea of like what your family might want when you're no longer around. That way you don't have a bunch of extra crap that they don't want and that they have to deal with, like either selling it or, hiring someone to haul it off, or just feeling the guilt of, would my family, like would my mom and dad want me to have this or want me to keep this in the family? Like save them the stress. And usually like when you lose a family member, the last thing you want to deal with is all of their junk and sorting through it, or feeling guilty that you never really wanted it. Like, don't push your stuff on someone else. You know, take care of that kind of stuff as you get older. Think about not just yourself and your needs, but also like the needs of your kids, your loved ones. Or, you know, maybe have a plan and put it in your will. Like, you know, these are the things that I want to donate to someone. Or have a plan and maybe even pay for it. Make plans to have a fund just to take care of the physical things so that your family is not stuck with that kind of burden. I know that when I lost my mom, a lot of things my stepfather still has, but it's still a lot of burden on him. I mean, we didn't know really when she would pass because she had dementia, but there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really organized. And with her having dementia for like 10 years, she really wasn't able to, you know, organize all that stuff herself, or, you know, tell people, you know, who she wanted to give her things to. So if you can kind of keep your things in an organized fashion, labeled, and, you know, have a purpose for them while you are mentally able to do that and physically, it's going to make it so much easier towards the end of life. And this might be kind of morbid to talk about this kind of thing, but it's better to handle it when you're younger than to push it off on your family, or, you know, to try to do it when you get older and you're just physically and mentally aren't prepared to do that. So yeah, it's so much more important just to spend time with your family, or to spend the days that you're here on earth doing things that are meaningful, you know, that bring you joy and enrich your life, rather than collecting things. All right, so I'm almost at my destination, so I'm going to finish the rest of this segment later. Hopefully it'll be sunny when I get out of my appointment. Right now it's really cloudy, and it looks like rain all around me. It's not actually raining where I am. It was earlier. There was a little bit of a sprinkle. But yeah, so far I think I've come up with some good ideas. I'll probably edit some of this out, and then I'm going to be adding a few things later. So anyway, turn it off for now. Okay, back to the things that I would tell my younger self. I think that we're on number 4 on my list of things I've learned through my 54 years on planet Earth. Almost 55. In 5 months it'll be 55. But the next thing I've learned that I would definitely tell my younger self is that maybe you shouldn't get into serious relationships. Well, without my history of being married and having kids, I would have never had my kids. So that was a blessing. But I wish I would have known. I don't know. I mean, I don't regret anything because it's all a learning experience, but I would definitely have chosen myself first instead of putting myself through all the pain of a breakup. It's like, for one thing, if you're in a breakup, just get over it. Like, don't spend years agonizing over like what went wrong, or, you know, wishing they were still in your life. It was probably for the best, and most of the time, for me, I was attracted to people who are narcissistic and didn't treat me all that well, and I didn't see it until years later. But for me, yes, I do have a pretty bad judge of character, or at least I used to. My judge of character might be better now, but for me, single life is definitely better. I have so much more peace in my life. I know it may not be best for everyone, but for me, I just want to be single for now. I've been through so much, and partially because of my own actions and choices and not choosing the right people, the people who are best for me. But yeah, I have so much more peace now. I have better judgment as far as life choices, and I'm so much happier now that I have peace. And the best thing about being single I believe, is that I have found my own interests, like things I enjoy doing, like what I like to eat, where I like to go for fun, uh, what my hobbies are, and like what I want for my future life instead of, what does someone else want or who are their friends, like I can have my own friends that I really enjoy being around, and maybe they're not as many, but I pick quality over quantity, and I didn't really realize that before. I was so busy pleasing other people and being the kind of person that they wanted me to be instead of being the person that I want to be. And for me, solo life has just been so much better, and it would have been great if I had met the right person. If I could find someone to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. But at this stage of my life, what's the purpose? I can provide for myself. I think I take pretty good care of myself now, and definitely make better health choices. I've stopped drinking. I don't drink. I don't feel the need to drink. I eat lots more healthy food, fruits, vegetables, and I prioritize my health, and I prioritize exercise. And whenever you have another person in your life, you have to kind of make them a priority. If you're going to be in a relationship, if you're going to be fair to them, then you need to make them part of your life and part of them a priority. And sometimes even their family members have to be part of your life too. Let's say if they have kids, or if they have parents that are still alive, what if they want to have you over for dinner? I mean, there's nothing wrong with them wanting you to spend some time with their family. But when you're single, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. You don't have stepchildren, or, if you're just dating, you don't have to worry about their needs and, getting upset because they come first, or, which is not, you shouldn't be upset because their kids come first. Their kids should be their first priority. But, like, when you're single, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. It's so great. You're just taking care of yourself, which may sound selfish, but I spent plenty of years of my life being a caretaker, and I did for my kids, and I did for spouses or boyfriends in my life. I did so many things, and I spent money, lots of money, on relationships. That's part of it, especially if you're just dating. Usually women spend money on getting ready. Usually they get a new outfit, or put a lot of time and energy into looking good, keeping up, the hair and the makeup and the clothes and just whatever. And then that person may turn out to not be even a good person for you, but it's an investment when you date. And even when you're in a marriage relationship, you spend money on food, and everything should be 50-50. And in my experience, sometimes it's been not so even as far as spending money. It just hasn't worked out the best for me. So, in every marriage that I've been in, when I was married, it was never where we shared a bank account. It was always my money, my paycheck, your paycheck is your money. And I don't think, for married people, it shouldn't be like that. It should be joined. But I think it's a matter of trust, and those are things that you need to work out before you get married. But I don't think I'm ever going to get married again, because I'm done having children. I have a grandchild now, and I'm happy with that, and I can make plans for my retirement, and whatever money I have or don't have, it's all on me, and I don't have to be criticized or scrutinized by someone for not having enough, or for what I plan on spending in my future, or when I retire. If I want to buy something, I don't have guilt, only to myself. So I probably won't. If I don't think I can afford it, then I'm probably not going to get it. But I do like the fact that I can go shopping and when I do shop, I don't have to answer to someone. I only have to answer to myself. And when I buy something for myself and I come home after a long day's work, it's still there. Like, I know what's in the refrigerator. It's going to be there when I get home from work. I don't have to worry about someone throwing out something that I didn't want to throw out. So those are just a few things. Now, some people may say, well, don't you want someone to spend the holidays with? And I'm like, I have my family, and I'm pretty happy at home. I have a lot of things, little hobbies. I have this YouTube channel. I have lots of things to keep me busy, and sometimes that's what I prefer, is just to be alone. I don't mind being alone on a holiday. I have before. I spent plenty of holidays as a caretaker when my mom was getting sick, and also, all those years, like during Christmas, I spent lots of time. I don't regret it, but I spent lots of time, money, effort putting into Christmas, like the meal, like a nice big fancy meal at Thanksgiving or Christmas, and at Christmas time during the holidays, buying presents and wrapping and doing all the things, getting ready for the holidays, for the gifts. And then another thing is like all the special activities during the holidays, all the running around. I spent lots of time, taking my kids to different activities and different things like that. And I'm done being a caretaker, and I don't want to be a nurse or a purse to another human being. Oh, and another thing I like about being solo is I don't have to share my bed with somebody. Like, I can sleep through the night. If I wake up, it's just because I couldn't sleep. It's not because someone's snoring. And I don't feel the guilt of not going to bed when they go to bed. I mean, I hated that when I was married. Like, if I want to stay up all night and watch TV, or if I fall asleep on the couch, I don't want to feel guilty because I didn't want to go to bed. I don't have to do that. So yeah, that's another advantage. I get a good night's sleep. I do have my cat, but cats are pretty easy. I've had dogs before, and I loved my dogs, but they are a big commitment, and financially and just with time, cats are a little bit easier, not as demanding with your time and energy. But yeah, I loved having a dog. Dogs are great pets, great companions. But for me, I have one cat, and that's enough for me right now. That's enough companionship, and they definitely do help with stress levels, with lowering that cortisol after a hard, long, stressful day at work. So yeah, I like having a cat. Let's see. And another thing is, whenever you're single and you clean the house, it's still clean. And if it's not, you only have to answer to yourself. I also like there's a lot of outdoor chores, like mowing the grass, and it's kind of nice that it's just on me. So if it was someone else's job to do it and they didn't get it done, I'm not like upset, and I'm not disappointed because they didn't get it done. The only one who's supposed to do it is me. So like, I can kind of plan for myself, and I can set in the calendar what days I'm going to mow, and I can watch the weather, and so it's all on my responsibility, and it's all on my conscience. So I like having that independence. I like knowing when my paycheck's coming and being able to budget and not have to worry about someone else overspending or prioritizing something else that I don't think is a financial priority. So yeah, there's lots of advantages of being single. So for me, I've learned that you can do it just on your own. You don't have to be in a relationship. You can be completely happy not being in a relationship, which I wish I would have known that years ago. It would have saved me a lot of trouble. I wish I would have kind of given up on dating and that kind of thing a long time ago. Now, I've been divorced, let's see, it'll be almost 6 years, I guess. Was it 6? Yeah, about 6 years. In August, it'll be 6 years that I've been divorced. And I haven't dated, and I haven't felt the urge to date in those 6 years. I guess the last marriage kind of did me in on it and changed my mind. Like, I had enough. I don't need it in my life right now, and I don't know if I ever will. So yeah, being single is A-okay with me. So the last thing I want to talk about, as far as talking to my younger self and what I've learned in my 54 years living, is that if you want to do something, if you have an interest in an activity, or going to a show or concert or some place that you've never traveled before, you don't have to have a plus one. You don't have to go with someone. You can just go on your own, with planning, financially, and just like all the things you have to do, logistics and everything. You can just do that just like you would if you were a couple. You don't have to have someone else. You're strong enough. You're a grown-ass woman, and you can do things on your own. You can have fun, and you can like meet people when you're out on your own. And you can go places when you want. You don't have to wait for someone else to go to the bathroom. You don't have to like not go somewhere because they don't like that type of food or that kind of music. It's really nice to have that kind of independence and freedom, being single. So, like, don't wait until someone else wants to go with you. Just go do it on your own. There's nothing wrong with going by yourself. And if things get challenging, if the car breaks down, or the weather's bad, I mean, you're an adult. You can figure it out. You'll grow from the experience, and you could possibly have a lot more fun. And I used to think like going out to eat and doing a review on YouTube is kind of intimidating and like not the preferred way, because you're all alone and people might look at you funny. But really, I think it's better making a video and a critique on like a food critique or a restaurant, because like you can focus on what you're trying to do. You don't have to worry about annoying someone else, giving your honest opinion on something. Like, I don't think most people will, if it's not their channel, they don't really want to be in the video. I've just learned with the experiences with family, when I've gone out to eat with them, and then I want them to say something about, like, what do you think of the food? It kind of makes them feel uncomfortable, because they may not be used to being in YouTube videos. So it's actually the preferred method is just going by yourself, because you can film when you want to, when you feel comfortable, and you don't have to make someone else feel uncomfortable with that. And you don't have to, another big one is you don't have to pay their way. Like if you want to go to a restaurant or to like some certain activity, entertainment or something like that, you don't have to pay their way. You only have to pay for yourself. So there's definitely an advantage to going in alone. And some people may say, like, what about safety being out on your own? Well, if you're out like with a job or something and you have a business trip, I mean, you're not going to not go on that business trip because you're alone. You're just going to take safety measures. You're not going to do something that, or go to a place where your life might be in danger. You just got to do it like you would with anything else. Just use common sense and make plans, and it shouldn't be a big deal to go out on your own. So, in conclusion, I hope that you find some of these lessons helpful. I know that sometimes in life you'll have to learn things the hard way, but that's how you grow, and it's worth it in the end. Some people may think these are silly things to bring up, but I know that it would probably save me a lot of trouble if I had known some of these things when I was 18 or 22 or even 30. even 40. So anyway, if you find any of this information helpful, please leave a comment, give me a like, and if you'd like to watch some of my future videos, please subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications on so whenever I put out a new video, you don't miss out on it. So I guess that's about all for now. Looks like all the bad weather's behind me, and now there's going to be sunshine and potholes. So that's about it. I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now. And I'm starting off with my glasses off, but I'm going to put some sunglasses on when I'm driving. And if it's really cloudy out, I'll probably have my regular glasses for reading and driving. But I do pretty good with my sunglasses, so I'm sorry if I have sunglasses on, but I need them to drive. And my sunglasses do have readers in them, so it makes it really easy to see